watching NotesIn9.
Hello, and welcome to NotesIn9. I'm David Leedy. Episode 118. Use Java to sign a database in XPages. Even Paul Mooney should be okay with this video, but let's face it, he'll tune out as soon as he sees designer. Okay, so in today's show, John Jardin comes back on, and John is a great friend. He's an IBM champion. He works at Ukavuma Solutions in South Africa, and his email and website and Twitter is on here, and he does a lot of accelerator development. He does a lot of XPages. He does a lot of training and mentoring. I believe they get into some other technology as well. So if you do have needs, he might be available to help you out, and I recommend contacting him. Today he's going to give this is kind of an interesting example. It's an example on using some Java to interact with the admin P process to sign your database. So it's just kind of like the demo is just kind of a utility tool, but he kind of shows you how to make the Java class, which I really like, and he shows you kind of how to interact with admin P, which is cool. Now it does the demo that he does require that you have the ability to have the access to do session as signer with full access, which I'm not sure where that setting is in the admin world, but it may take more than a smile to get that ability from your admin. But that's, you can always fall back on beer or popcorn or something else that might help. So you may not have this access, but the demo is still worthwhile to kind of like see how the Java class gets created, and again how you can interact with admin P. I'm sure there's other admin P stuff out there that is valid as well. So anyway, with all that being said, let's go to the demo.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this video. I'm John Jardin from Ukavuma, and today I'm going to show you how to sign your databases using the server ID with a little bit of Java code. Before I get into the code itself, I just want to give you a demonstration of what I'm talking about. In version 6 of Notes in Lotus script, they allowed us as developers to perform a sign on databases using a Notes database object, which worked fine so long as you're always triggering the agent in the front end. The moment you try to trigger the agent in the back end, Domino will not allow you to carry on. Now that we're doing XPages development, whether you're trying to use server-side JavaScript or Java itself, anytime you want to perform a sign request, it's never going to work because it's always considered to be a back-end process. So again, this is something now that's restricted to front-end Notes client development. So if I show you over here, I have a button called Test Sign Request Directly, and what I'm doing is in my Java code, I'm just doing a notes database.sign on the current database. If I click on this button, I'm going to get a nice error in the server console, and you'll see that on top of here it says cannot sign notes when running on a server. Now, there's nothing that you can do to get that away. I've really tried a lot, and I've also spoken to some of the guys online, and there's no real solution around this. But there is an alternative way. If I go to my design element over here, you'll see currently everything's signed with the server ID, but I'm going to go and just perform a quick save on my design, and you'll see it's got my username as the signature for that. Don't know why I closed that now, but anyways. Alright, so if I go back to the page and I say, okay, fine, I want to test a sign request via an admin P. If I click on this button, I can see by the server console that I populated some text over here showing me the note ID of the admin request. And if I go inside the administration request database, on my server there's now a sign request by me. Okay, which is fine. If I go back to the Domino server, it should perform a little bit of signing on the database within the next few seconds. In fact, I think it's already been done. Yes, okay, that's a very good sign if you see a green tick. And if I go to my design again and I refresh, then my design element has now been signed with the server ID. So that's perfect, because not only do we want to perform a sign request using some server-side JavaScript or Java, but it's a bad practice to sign the database with your ID. So we really do want to sign it with the server's ID. definitely best practice. In fact, a better practice is to sign it with some sort of special signer ID that usually gets provided by the Domino administrators. But anyway, moving forward. Alright, so let's go see how we go and create this code in order to perform the sign request. Currently, I've already written some code so that I could demo everything to you. And if we go take a look over here, I've got two functions. The one is to perform a sign database directly, and the second one is to sign database via admin P. Okay. If we go take a look, let's first go see the sign database directly. And you'll see it says I get the faces context, yes, I get my session, and I get session as signer with full access. That means that whatever I do inside this piece of code runs as the server and not as me as the online user. Very important. And this is where I try to perform a standard sign. I got the current database and I said do a sign. And obviously I got the error back saying, but you can't sign with any process running on the server. So what we're going to do is we're going to write this piece of code over here. And before I move forward, instead of just showing you the code, I thought I'd go through the whole process and just show you where to start. Okay. So I'm going to go and create a new Java class, and my package is currently com.ukavuma.dev.signRequest. That's fine. I'm happy with that. And I'll call it sign request controller. Okay. Click on the finish button and it will give me this. That's great. We have to implement serializable. Yes. I'll highlight that. Import as well as generate a serial. A lot of this is default practice, otherwise you're going to start getting errors on your server. So this is something you should always do whenever you create in your Java classes, unless I'm mistaken. Alright, so I'm going to go and create a function called public void sign database via admin P. Alright, let's go add some try catches in there. I'm just going to do an e.print for now. That will just print the error to the server console. So we're going to put the rest of our code inside here. To save time, I just want to copy some of this code for you. Give me some space. Thank you. And let's copy that and let's put that inside here. Alright, so we first got our faces context. Yes, good. We've got our session and we do session assigner with full access. We're happy with all of this, very standard. Over here, I'm creating an administration process object, giving it a variable name of admin P, and using the session to create the administration process. Over here, if you just put in blank value, it will return the current server. Otherwise, you can go and specify the server where you want this admin task to run. Then I've got a note ID as a string variable that I'm going to return when I do the sign database with server ID function against the admin P object. And all I do over here is I pass the file path and file name of the database on the server that I want to sign. So I'm cheating over here. I'm just saying get current database, get server for the current server, and then I'm saying get current database, get file path of the current database that I'm working on now. And once I run that, then I just do a print statement saying that the note ID for the admin request is whatever. Okay. I don't think I've missed anything over here. So we can sign this. If I go to our faces config, you'll see that I've got a sign request final managed being name, and it's connected to com.ukavuma.dev.signRequest.signRequestController final. So I created a new one just called sign request controller, and I set it up as a view scope. Okay, just simple stuff. Then I go to my XPage. We're at the last step now, and I'll open up sign request final. And these are the two buttons that I had, and this is very simple. First one, if I go to events, all I'm doing is I'm getting a handle on my managed bean, and I'm saying sign database via admin P. Okay, we don't even need this print statement. Alright, I'm just doing a partial refresh against the button. You don't even need to. You can say no update if you want. Save this, build your database, and let's go test it out. Alright, so let's just clear this. And if I go and say test sign request, nothing will happen here because we're not performing any update to the page. But in my server console, I have a note ID for the admin request that I created. And there's the admin request. Alright, so with just a little bit of extra code, you can go into the admin request database, because this can sometimes take up to 20 seconds depending on how busy the server is. But you can go into the administration request database, use the note ID to get this document, and once you've got a handle on this document, you can go and get the child entry and just go and see if a successful action was performed, which was in this case. And that's it. That's a simple way of signing your databases. I hope this was valuable to everyone, and until next time, have a good day. Bye.
And that's the demo. I thank John for coming on. I know I've been talking to him about getting some accelerator shows. So we might have some good mobile content coming soon that I know I'm personally really looking forward to. And if you have any questions for me, here's my contact information. And I thank you for your time.